Hello, I'm Alex Montague, and I'm here today to tell you about how mindfulness and meditation can help improve your life, the quality of your life, by lessening stress and anxiety. Now, mindfulness and meditation have different meanings to different people. So, first, I'd like to spend a minute talking about what these words actually mean. So, mindfulness is a quality of awareness where your experience of the present moment is not disturbed by biases, by fears, by projections of the future, and you experience the present moment exactly as it is. You experience reality as it is, rather than through the lens of these types of fears and projections, mental projections. Meditation is a practice that helps develop that quality of awareness. Therefore, meditation helps develop mindfulness. Now, meditation is a practice, and basically it's any practice that brings you into the present moment. So you might have heard of breath meditation, where you focus on your breath, or transcendental meditation, where you focus on a mantra. There's also walking meditation, or even eating meditation. The point of all these practices is to bring you into the present moment, and therefore to develop the quality of mindfulness and awareness that will alleviate your stress and anxiety. Now, meditation and mindfulness have been shown, scientifically shown, to have both physiological and psychological benefits. On a physiological level, mindfulness and meditation have been shown to help with heart disease and cancer. Now, it's not that meditation actually cures cancer or heart disease, but a study of a group of people who suffered from cancer, between those who meditated and those who didn't, showed that the group that meditated actually improved better and faster than the ones who didn't. Another physiological benefit of meditation is with pain. Now, there's something called secondary pain that meditation helps with particularly. So imagine that you're walking and you bang your head against the wall. It hurts, sure, and that hurt is physical pain, it's primary pain. But then there's a secondary experience, which is where you get upset. Why wasn't I looking? Why wasn't I paying attention? There's a whole story that runs through your mind, and you might even curse. You might get upset and curse, and that's called secondary pain. Sometimes I call it suffering. And research has shown that the secondary pain is actually worse than the primary pain. Now that's quite incredible, right? So meditation helps alleviate that secondary pain. And so what you have left is just the primary pain, and your overall experience of pain is substantially diminished. Now, I personally have experienced this with blood taking. I have been very fearful of the experience of blood taking, and ever since I've been meditating and I've been developing mindfulness, that experience has become substantially less traumatizing for me. That's probably the best word to describe it, because it's really not the pain of the needle, it's more the mental anguish at the experience, the thought of having this done to me, that has been alleviated by the meditation. Meditation and mindfulness also help with improving concentration, and by reducing stress and anxiety, they have been shown to help with insomnia and sleep problems. But one of the most interesting areas where I find meditation and mindfulness have been very helpful are in the treatment of addiction and dependence. Now, someone who suffers from addiction has very little awareness of their behavior. It's as if they're compelled towards the addiction. There's sort of an inner force that just moves them towards the addiction, and they have no awareness of what's actually happening. Whatever the source of that addiction is, whether it's smoking, whether it's reaching for the drink, whether it's gambling, it's sort of a compulsion, an obsession, and you move towards it unconsciously almost. Now, what meditation and mindfulness do, they develop an awareness. That moment where before you reach for the cigarette, you say, aha, what am I doing? I am about to smoke. So instead of your mind going straight to the cigarette and putting it to your mouth, you have that split second where you recognize, I'm about to do something that's really bad for me. And in that moment, you have choice, and you have the freedom to choose whether you're going to actually do this or whether you're going to put it aside because it's not good for you. So meditation and mindfulness will give you true freedom of choice when dealing with addiction and dependency. Now, in my particular case, I have found that I've benefited tremendously. I have led a very anxious life. I'm a lawyer, and my training has actually exacerbated my problems with stress, anxiety, and depression. This is a very unforgiving profession. The standards are very high. You mustn't lose. It's really a profession that requires you to be performing at your best at all times, which is a difficult thing to do, and your mind tends to go on overspeed, and this creates a lot of stress and anxiety. And I found that my meditation and mindfulness practice has very much helped me with reducing the stress and anxiety. Now, usually most people, including myself, before I came to these practices, seek to happiness, I would say, and seek to solve their problems, seek to get rid of their anxiety, stress through external things. A successful career, possessions, a better house, even romantic pursuits, something that's out there. And you think, if I had this, if only if I had this, I would be happier. Only if I had more money, my stress would go away. Anything that's outside yourself. And that really isn't the case. And as the Buddha discovered, 5,000 years ago, and perhaps he's the person who invented meditation, true happiness actually doesn't come from pursuing these external activities, whatever it might be. It's not that you shouldn't do them, sure, become successful, but if you expect that all your fulfillment and happiness is going to come from that, the Buddha showed, and other philosophers have shown that that isn't the case, that happiness is actually something that comes from within. And that's not just a cliche. That is, for me, the most important lesson that no one taught me as I was growing up. And I went to 3 institutions of higher learning. It's something that I had to learn myself, and it is only through the practice of meditation and mindfulness that I have come to really appreciate that fulfillment and happiness really do reside within you, and it just has to be uncovered. It's as if, for me, a door is opened that I never knew was even closed. And this is the flourishing of wisdom. And by wisdom, I'm not talking here about, academia or studiousness or pedantry, What I'm talking about is your natural wisdom that's residing within you, that's always there. And meditation and mindfulness will allow that to blossom. And once that blossoms, that door opens, and your experience of life and the way that you behave with other people will change. It will lead to a lot more compassion, and it will lead to a lot less stress and anxiety. However, I have to stress that doing 1 or 2 meditation sessions isn't going to do it. This requires a consistent practice. It requires you to actually prioritize this and really make it a focal point so that you could turn to it every day. And but it is very fruitful, and it will lead to a much better life. I hope you will join us to meditate and learn about mindfulness. Thank you.